All right, so I'm going to talk about my favorite Canon lens. And I'm not saying this is the best Canon lens, Canon RF lens, but it's my favorite one because it's the one I use the most. And there's a reason. Actually, there's two reasons. One, this is a 28. So my first love of focal length is a 35. I have a whole video on why I love a 35, but I think it's just like the most versatile focal length. However, the 28 has really become maybe my new favorite, but here's the reason. So the focal length grade is good, right? 24 just feels a little too wide. And, you know, if 35 is perfect, 28 is pretty close and you kind of get a little bit more width. Plus, I often, at least at home, I'm shooting my kids a lot. So the extra wide angle does help. Not that it's a crazy wide angle, but anything, you know, below a 35 is considered a wide angle. But the other reason why I love this lens so much is that it's so small. And now the lens cap and everything's on, but if you take this off and you take the front cap off, it's a tiny, yes. It's what they call a pancake lens. This is the smallest, as of yet, the smallest Canon RF lens. Now, the 50 is pretty small too, as you can see. Let me just do a 1-for-1. But it's not as small. They end up going for around the same price. Actually, depending on which one's on sale. But the 50, I have a love-hate with the 50. And actually, I have a couple of filters on here, and I'll explain that in a second. I won't get into the 50. 50 is great. You should have this one because it's cheap enough. You know, it's like not a crazy expensive one. And but we'll get into a 50 in a different video. The 28, and the reason why you're watching this, because if you're like, should I buy it? Here's the thing. If you're like me and you're on YouTube and you go, oh, should I buy this thing? Let me go on YouTube and see what YouTubers think. What do they say? Best, you know, pros and cons. My verdict is you should definitely get this because you can't afford not to. I mean, if you know what RF lenses cost, this is like a drop in the bucket compared to most of it. But it's on my camera the most because of the size. It's just easier when the form factor is smaller. Now this is a 2.8. It's not and you have just basically one knob here for autofocus, manual focus. I mean, I'm not a psychopath. I just always leave it on autofocus because why would I want to manually focus this? I mean, it's smooth and it feels great. But yeah, I mean, if you're shooting on RF, you have good autofocus. So that's why you're shooting on it. So you want to take advantage of that. It's not the sharpest lens, but that's not a bad thing. I actually make it even less sharp with this. I have a Pro Mist filter on. This is a Pro Mist quarter. So it's black Pro Mist. Tiffin's been making these forever. These have been around for like the longest time. And, you know, if you'd asked DPs years ago, oh yeah, Pro Mist. Now it's like diffusion, and you can get all these like, you know, I don't know. They insert lots of brands that are making it. I'm a little OG. I mean, they're all basically the same, but you probably might be overpaying if you're buying a brand that has a more popular name. Although Tiffin's been around for the longest time, so they're just a staple. Anyways. And get off subject. The Tiffin Pro Mist is on here. So it blooms out the lights, it softens it. It's funny, sometimes I'll hand this camera, like my camera, to someone with this lens on here. They'll take a picture and go, oh my gosh, everything looks so good. It's like, yeah, it's a great focal length. This Pro Mist does a whole lot. Highly recommend. And it's just easy to carry around. You're not lugging around. I mean, it's a little bit of a throwback to some of the older cameras. I guess the old film camera. And, you know, it's a smaller lens. You know, it's about kind of around the same size. Yeah. There's something about if it's with you a lot and you're not, like if you're more casually shooting and you're capturing the moment, something smaller and less intrusive goes a long way. So that's why I love this. That's why I think you should buy it. I also think you should buy the Pro Mist quarter. They have different flavors. You can get an eighth. I don't think an eighth is strong enough. And it says it right up there, Black Pro Mist. Yeah, I just don't think eighth strong enough. It's subtle and it does something. And if you're wondering about these labels, Fieldmade Co., they're the best. There's a few other ones out there, but I like theirs. Their quality, as you can see, this is I have Probably make its stuff on there. And then, you know, compared to the 35, which the 35 is small. It's like not that big of a lens, but it's like half the size. It's half the size. So there's no IS, there's nothing fancy about it. It's a Pancake, but it might make its way to your favorite if you pick it up, and I guarantee it, you won't regret it. If you do, I'll give you your money. I'll give you your time back for watching this video. Just email me and I'll send you a voucher for time. All right, that's it. Good luck. Hope you enjoy it. Keep shooting.